anyhow, God is still keeping us. Yes, good to be here. I will say that once again, and good to have you join us. Yes, today we are taking the grassroots. If you are in Akwa Ibom State, I'm sure that you are aware of the fact that we are in the process of bringing new set of people into the local government council of all the 31 local governments in Akwa Ibom State, and everyone will want people who will lead them well, who will lead them aright. And there are certain things that will serve as our responsibilities, our civil responsibilities, whether you are led or whether you are the leader, whether you are set up as one that should take up the affairs of the council, as a councillor, as a chairman, and then as a citizens who are being led. We all have responsibilities towards making that place what it ought to be. And for these, there are certain things that we need to do or we ought to do. Some of them we already know. I think we even know all of them. But sometimes, we need to remind ourselves of the things that maybe we are doing or we ought to do that we are not doing, or we are doing and not doing right, or that we have forgotten. And it's our duty here in AKBC to inform you about those things, to educate us about those things. And many times we bring expert people who know so much about those things to talk about them. And with me this morning to talk on getting it right at the grassroots level, I have with me Dr. Mandu Ekwenyo, who is from Ikorudovi village in Ika local government area. She is a pioneer national president, Association of Heads of Local Government Service, and she is the chairman, Ibom Life Saving Advocacy, a retired head of local government service. I'm glad to have you here again. Doctor,
thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here once again.
Okay, good to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes, recently, and I think, in fact, last week, PDP conducted their screening and all that, and everything is geared towards having new set of people man the local government affairs as leaders. So right now, I want us to begin with the overview of local government system in Nigeria. I think it would be good you let us into that so that we can start off from there.
You are right. It's good to have an overview of the local government system. As we all know that local government had been in existence right from the period of traditional rule into indirect rule, until when we had the local government reforms in 1976. And of course, after that, we got into the democratic era in 1999, where democratic elected local government chairman had to be in charge of the council. And we all know that the local government remains the third tier of governance in Nigeria. I think that is just a brief overview of the local government, which sometimes can be referred to as grassroots. That is linking to what we are talking about today.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's also get to Ika, which you happen to come from. What are the unique things about Ika local government area?
Ika local government area remains one of the local government areas in Akwa Ibom State, and as one of the local governments area of Akwa Ibom State, Ika local government equally enjoys what other local government areas are enjoying. And looking at Ika local government politically, I would love to say that there is a zoning system in Ika. Ika is made up of 3 clans and 67 gazetted villages. And these 3 clans, when it comes to political zoning, is one clan after to the other. And talking in the present, the zoning favors Achan clan. And it might interest you to know that because I know you want to know why I'm interested in or why I was interested in vying for the post of chairmanship. And I'm from Achan clan, which the zoning highly favored. But again, within the clan, to be democratic, to be more democratic, there should be a micro zoning in consideration of wards that have not been opportune to produce either a transition, an elected government, or maybe a prominent appointment in the Akwa Ibom State. And I happen to come from that ward, which is Achan Ward 2 in Ika local government area. So based on the zoning system, I felt that I could stand a chance. But maybe you have heard that I was not given opportunity, and nothing to worry. We are talking about getting it right at the grassroots level. So it's not all about personal interest. It's about getting it right. And politically, we know that party is supreme. So if it's the decision of the party that I should not be given opportunity, then I should not worry. I should not worry. Rather, the interest of the populace should override my own personal interest. And it might interest you to know that if I was opportune to be nominated, then the zoning would have been very beautiful. And maybe as we speak on, you will know why I'm saying that, how we should get it right at the grassroots level democratically. And I want to say that what I'm going to say here is not going to be in specific terms to Ika local government, but it's going to be in general terms. And it might interest you to know that when I retired in 2022 as a head of local government service, having walked around, served around many local governments in Akwa Ibom State, I can say much about grassroots development. And so that's why I'm happy to be here, as I've given opportunity to speak on getting it right at the grassroots level. And of course, I publish a book. I'm here with that book, Leading Issues in Local Government Administration, which I will leave some copies. Yes.
So let me have it with me. Okay. Yes. Before we even go into details of what we are talking about, one of the things I had in mind when I asked you some unique things about Ika are the natural resources of Ika local. What does Ika really have as we speak?
The people of Ika, they are predominantly farmers. Yes, they have natural resources. Like in Ika, we have much of palm fruit. You know, we have palm fruit, and women engage in farming most, then in trading, and of course in petty trades. So that is mostly what the people of Ika are into, the community are into.
Okay, good. So, like you have rightly said, you have been to various or different local governments in this state, and I don't know if you have gone to half of them, maybe at least a good fraction.
Yes, a good fraction of them have been to.
Yes, so let's have you share some peculiar challenges that have crossed your mind that I believe must have been one of the or some of the reasons you had that intention of vying for that position.
Thank you so much. Having worked in various local governments in Akwa Ibom State, I have let me start by saying that when we are talking about the grassroots, we are talking about the basic level of the system, which helps in development. So it's very crucial. Grassroots, we must getting it right at the grassroots level is very crucial to the development of a community. So having served in various local governments in Akwa Ibom State, I have come to realize that if you check in that my book, in the second chapter 2 of that my book, you will see the theories of local government administration, being the participatory democratic theory, being the efficiency service theory, being the developmental theory, being the functional theory, and of course resource mobilization theory. And if you read through, you see that there are mainly 3 of them that most of the literature speaks about, which is the democratic participation, the efficient service theory, and social mobilization theory. Okay. So those are the basis, those are the theories that can be used to make it work in the local government system. When we are talking about democratic participatory theory, it should be the governance at the grassroots level should be participatory. You know, you have to, it must be open for all to participate, not only for the bourgeois, not only for the people that have money. It should be open for everybody. Everybody's interest should be carried along.
Can you give us an example? Maybe you can just bring us into something like how the people can be carried along. If maybe you have a project as a local government chairman, and your cabinet, you have a project you want to execute, how do you make the people in the system to participate? As you're talking about the participation.
Yes, I'm talking about.
How do you bring them in?
We are talking. We started by talking about politics. So when you bring people to participate in all that you do, even in selection of candidates, even in election of people, taking decision on who should be and who should not be, not minding the level of that person, bring the hierarchy of the stakeholder, the people that are at the lower level. You know, participation means that when you bring all caliber of persons, all levels of persons together, they will be able to know who and who should lead them. That is what I'm talking about, participation. And even in decision making, as you are asking me if I wanted to do a project, if I want to do a project, yes, I will call for input from persons from the grassroots, you know, stakeholders, because any project that I will want to execute will be based on the felt needs of the people in the community. So that participation is very, very important, because I noticed when I was still the head of local government service that there are some projects that will be brought to the community or the local government, and the people will reject it, and that project will be left there, and that is the resources that was used to bring up that project is wasteful. So community participation in whatever you do at the local government level is very, very important.
So in that case, you need to dialogue with them to know what they need before you bring it. Is that what you mean there?
Yes. When we talk about community participation, it means that you listen to them. You listen to their view. You know, it doesn't mean that maybe, because you know there are some decisions that the people can take that as somebody that is experienced, you know that it will not really help them. So that takes us to education and awareness, which is still a way of making things work in the local government. So you have, when we talk about education, I'm not talking about going to school, but looking for a way to let your people understand their rights, to let your people understand what is happening, what they should look for, what is available. You know, that links us to the RISE agenda. You know, the RISE agenda of His Excellency has really spelled out so many things that captures the interest of the of the grassroots person. So if the people at the grassroots comes up with a project, you should be there to guide them so that it will key in to their RISE agenda, because even though we are at the local government level, we should not stand aloof. We should key in to what is happening at the state level so that we can gain enough support. And even when this happens, it has to be, participation is very important, because if they don't participate, you won't be able to sustain it. So whatever project you have in the local government, it has to be a project that you will be able to sustain, and participation come in there, because if it's not something that the community people will be able to hold in trust and work on it to be sustainable, then it's a waste of resources. So that brings us to sustainability. And if we talk about adaptability and flexibility, it has to be something that maybe will key into. You just ask me what Ika people know how to do well, what I can say about Ika people. You know, your project and your program has to key in with what Ika people know well how to do. So in governance, you have to be flexible. You know, what the opinion of the people have to be considered. Let it be something that they can help in developing, so that that development, that project can be vision. You know, you have to have a not an immediate vision. You know, most of the times what I notice is that when a local government chairman comes in and comments, he wants to, most of them want to do a certain thing so that it will be pointed to the fact that they did that. But there is need to really know that project that they want to do, is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? Can it last? I'm talking about vision. So apart from looking at the immediate wins as a local government chairman, also have an extended vision. Have a vision that, oh, if I lay a foundation for this project, even if I cannot complete it in my 3 years tenure or in my 6 years tenure as the chairman, but this foundation will bring a development to Ika local government area. Those things that I've mentioned that should be done for the grassroots development to be to be of essence is what I observed, and is what I observed when I was the head of a local government service. And there's also need to also have some dialogue with the different groups. We have the youth group, we have the women group, we have the major stakeholders. And permit me to speak on the stakeholders. You know, in most of the local government, I observe that there are a set of people that are designated as stakeholders. And in my own definition, I believe that stakeholders should be this kind of persons that will help to hold stake for the community growth. But what I observed as a head of local government service, it was not really that. It was these people that will come around and look for their own gains. Yes. And so what I'm propagating is that stakeholders should really understand the meaning of stakeholders, that you should be the one that is coming to add to what the central government or the state government has given to your community. That is to complement the efforts of the state government. You know, it's to complement the effort so that your local government can stand out. For instance, you know, like we were talking about resource mobilization as one of the theories of local government administration. You know, in a resource mobilization, we have the internally generated revenue, yes, and we have the external ones that come from the federal allocation and the 10% state allocation to the local government. Then I observed that the local government did not exhaust avenue of generating revenues, yes, in the local government system. There are so many things that can be done, and you have time to look through that my book, not just waiting for the allocation to come. We have so many sources of revenue in the local government system which should be explored. You know, let me tell you experience I had in one of the local government that I served. We were trying to get revenue from the market, and they revolt. And you know, sitting back, yes, I'm coming, sitting back. Why did they revolt? They revolted because they thought that the amenities in the market was not provided by the local government, then why are you coming to take revenue? You know, so the local.
So in that case, what should be done? What should
be done is that you provide the basic amenities like toilet facilities, like water, you know, in the markets, and the stalls that people will sit, security, all those things should be provided in the market, so that you can now have the grounds to go and get revenue from the market. So you don't, the people are catering for themselves, trying to sell the little thing they have, and you want to go and get revenue. So I feel at the local government level, the local government chairman should sit up and provide amenities in like the market before you go for revenue, so that you will not create chaos, because they are human beings. If you don't have anything to show and you want to go and get revenue for them, no, and you don't use force to get revenue. Let them appreciate that there are these amenities for them to use, so that you can get revenue. What of having things in the local government headquarters, or even in the vicinity of the local government, like restaurants? A good restaurant, like in my local government area, you know, you can have a good restaurant to be managed by the council. And what of having a mechanic workshop? You know, we have persons working in the works department, and sometimes they don't. We have engineers, we have architects, and what have you. Also, if you establish, yes, utilize. If you have like a mechanic workshop in the council, and people will come and repair their vehicles, is that you? Are you not generating revenue to the council? And one thing that is very important is that there should be monitoring and evaluation at the grassroots level.
Okay.
Supervision.
Yes. Before we talk about that, recently, the federal government have there is a ruling in favor of the local government, the financial autonomy for the local government. What will you say about that and development in local government? Do you think that it will really help, or it will still be the same old story?
Well, thank you for bringing that up. I still refer to that in my book. While I was the head of local government service, we actually agitated for that, even at the national level, that I was the president. And agitating for that does not mean that there are not fears. There are fears because of the caliber of people, because of how people are, because of, in the local government system, we still have some pockets of persons that do not really understand what. It does not mean that the money that will be brought from the national level is to be shared, or maybe to empower, you know, to empower an individual because it's an autonomy. I really want to thank His Excellency, because even while there was no autonomy, that is, I mean, His Excellency Pastor Umar Basi Eno, you know, he took time to address the challenges of different sectors in the local government system, and still give enough to the chairman to do projects. So actually, persons that are coming in to run the local government should know, they should be made to understand that autonomy is not that so much money is coming to the local government, because with autonomy, the state will be relieved of the things they were doing for the local government.
Please educate us more on what to expect. I know the citizens must have heard this autonomy issue, but they don't even understand what. So I believe you have a fair knowledge of it. Can you just educate us? What does it really mean to have a financial autonomy? Yeah,
actually, you know, I spoke about the local government being the third tier of governance. Before now, we didn't have financial autonomy. It was partial, because at that instance, while I was still in service, we had a joint account with the state, that when they go for the joint account, money will then be disbursed to the local government for project. But with the autonomy, the local government will be run as a tier indeed.
That's it, on its own.
On its own, and yes, independent on its own. And I want to pray that God should help Akwa Ibom State to have the caliber of people that will be able to drive the local government service, because it's not going to be business as usual.
I'd like you to talk about the caliber of people. Yes, sir. I don't know, I may be wrong. Severally, we have had people sent to be head of local government council. People who don't have any business being there. Some of them not properly educated. Some of them just brought maybe by their godfathers to man the affairs of the local government. And now, looking at what we are talking about, what is the disadvantage? I like the people to know what they are in for. And if they send anyhow person to that place, what they should expect.
Thank you so much. I'm not going to talk about whether somebody was qualified to be there or not, but I insist that somebody of experience and quality, somebody that maybe had been in the system and have a scorecard, should be given opportunity.
What of those who don't have a scorecard and are just going?
It's just an advice. You know, it's not in my control.
There will be need for training.
You know, experience is the best teacher. We say, training is training. Training will not equate experience that somebody accumulates in years of association, in years of working. You know, and integrity accumulated. So what they should expect, what the people should expect, is that if they are fortunate to have people of capacity to man the local government, then those development strides that was not seen in the local government will crop up and they will enjoy. But unfortunately, if they have the one that cannot deliver, then they are still in, and even in the worst state of what would have been for the local government. In a nutshell, that is what I can say.
Okay.
Yeah.
How can people, the citizens from the grassroots, how can they drive development in this era of financial autonomy?
Driving development is giving opportunity to the people at the grassroots to contribute to the council, to the executive, to the legislature, to the government at the grassroots. Because if they are not given opportunity to contribute, remember I spoke about participation, then how will they give their quota? Just as I desired to look for an opportunity to serve in the local government serving, and I was not given. I told you, party is supreme. I will not stop, you know, giving support. But if I'm given opportunity, but if I'm not given opportunity, there's nothing I can do. So is the people at the grassroots. If they are given opportunity, they should contribute. For instance, in the local government system, you know, we have a budget as a guide to expenditure, to whatever you want to do at the local government council. And by the local government act, whatever projects you want to do, whatever you want to do, you go by what is being approved by the budget. So let it start that the input of these people at the community level is captured through the departments in the local government, so that it can be reflected in the budget, so that it will carry the felt need of the people. So that is how they can contribute. If their felt need and agitation is being carried along and reflected in the budget, and it is being implemented, then you know that the people will be happy.
Okay. I can't let you go without you talking about the health sector. You've been in that area, and I know that there are various or many challenges that are faced at the grassroots in terms of healthcare. I'd like you to highlight some of them and maybe make some form of recommendations, especially to the people who are coming in, what they are going to see, and what maybe if you were there you would have done this. Please, this is not particularly about ICA. I'm looking at a general thing that cut across those local government that you have been to. Those challenges, how can they be handled, especially in the healthcare sector?
Thank you so much. I am so glad that, you know, my background is health, mostly public health. So actually, from my experience, there are so many gaps. Initially, some years back, the gaps was in dilapidated facilities. But thank God, from the government of the Udom Emmanuel into this present government, they had turned the face of that, and we have so many beautiful health facilities all around the state. So now the problem that I can talk about is inadequate staff. You know, most of our health staff, mostly nurses, they have to leave abroad because they were not engaged. They train and retrain, but yet they will not stay in the state to serve. So there is need to employ more health workers to man the health system and also improve their welfare. And another gap that I observe is still about community participation and involvement, because I remember when I was a director of health in Siribum local government, my first time of getting there, I observed that some of the infrastructures that were there, like the staff quarters and the borehole, you know, water system, was vandalized. I asked questions and I was told that the youth of the community, you know, sometimes theft everywhere was vandalized. You know, with my community health experience, because I have masters in community health, I call for a community dialogue. I met with different groups, and on the day I met with the youth group, you know, I introduced myself to them, that I've come to work with them. Cable, build the youth, build the nation. And when I came, what I saw was not really pleasant. And it looks as if we don't have youth in Siribum local government. You know, they opened up. They opened up to me and told me that they were not carried along. They did this in programs. They were not recognized. I was speaking on what they were complaining of, and I built on that. And by the grace of God, I was able, myself and my staff, we were able to reform. Yes, we were able to put back the quarters that was vandalized. We replaced everything. We were able to sink another borehole, made the few staff that we had to live in the staff quarters, and we had the youth in our support to protect.
And they protected.
They protected it.
Wow.
They protected it. If you go there to that place, I don't think I can be forgotten in a short while. So those are the few gaps. Motivation is very important, well, because right now, even as we don't have we have inadequate staff, they should be motivated. You see somebody running shift from morning till night and get tired, you know, they should be motivated so that they will enjoy the job. And what of funding? You know, let me you know, sometimes you have been talking on family planning. I still, like, as an advocate of support for family planning for the state and other health programs, let me use the opportunity that there is need for the government to increase funding to family planning, because the way things are, the way economy is, there is need for efficient family planning services, and this cannot be actualized without adequate funding. So I keep advocating anytime I have opportunity.
This funding for what?
Funding for mostly when you get to the health facility and you see you get to the community. Let's start there and ask the woman, why are you having so many children? Go to the health center for family planning. It's free. Say it's all free. The other time they got money from me. I'm trying to find out why they got money from the woman. They said that they were no consumable. I've talked about consumable here.
Yes.
So to supplies of the commodities and consumables. Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at this issue of the people at the grassroots, people at the local government end. In fact, if you go to the village now, before now, if you get to the village for either burial or any event, going back, you can get plantain, you can get afang, you can get all those local products, and it will be at a cheap rate. But today, if you get to the local governments, some of the local government, in fact, you will not even see some of these products I have of these things I have mentioned, and if you even see them, they will be more expensive as compared to what we are even buying here in the urban area. As a person, what do you think we can do to motivate the people to get back to reviving the economy and making available those resources I have mentioned?
That takes us to empowerment. Empowerment is not by giving people, maybe sharing money. When I talk about empowerment, you look at agriculture. You know, do you have farmers? What are they into? These days, they cultivate one farmland over and over again. Are they able to get fertilizer or manure? Because even the manure that we get from poultry is very expensive now. So there is need for us to empower our local farmers. What of those ones that produces palm oil from palm fruit? When they get to the mill, do we have a good mill that can aid them to relieve the labor of getting this palm oil? Do we? So it boils down to empowerment. We need to empower our farmers. We need to empower even other persons that I spoke about, petty trading. We need to empower them. You are talking about not seeing plantain again. Yes, you will not see even when you see plantain, it's going to be very expensive because other things in the market, they are very expensive. So they are selling these things to augment so that they will have enough to buy other products from the market. But if we assist our farmers and apart from empowering them, if we get into agriculture and train people on how to live a subsistence farming to, you know, commercial farming, or to expand their farming system, then you know that it will not happen again. So my advice is that we should look into empowering the farmers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Before you go, you are a woman, and so far some women have been given opportunity to lead in the local government as chairman, some of them as councillors. And as a person, what's been your assessment? Do you think that with the level of their performance that it is encouraging enough to allow more women to go and man the affairs of the local government?
What do you expect me to say? I'm a woman. And I know that women are mothers, they are grandmothers, they have passion. If you want to examine the level of passion between a man and a woman, you know that women have more passion when it comes to getting it right. So I really want to thank His Excellency for the opportunity that he has given to women. He announced that opportunity will be given to 2 women per senatorial district and 4 women as a councillor in different local government area. His Excellency is a child of a mother. He knows, and I'm still agitating that more opportunity should be given to women. And let me not forget to tell you, when I was the local government service in one of the local government, I saw a gap I did not mention. That is bringing the political class and the administrative class together. Yes, they should be. You should create an avenue like we had a sport week. There should be things in the local government that will bring these 2 sectors together to drive the process. Not the politician working this way and the administrative staff working this way. No, I wanted to speak about monitoring and supervision. Please allow me to say it. There is need for monitoring and supervision in the local government so that there will be feedback and there will be correction. Where have I gone wrong? Where have I not done well? You know, so there is need to listen.
Will have to.
Yes, even with the autonomy, I think the federal government should be able to develop a tool for monitoring and supervision, so that the masses will not suffer, even as we have gotten autonomy. Thank you so much.
It's been good having you here,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Mandwe Penyong, and I want to believe that from time to time I will bring you here again. I'll have you with other women. We will also like to talk about women in politics. Let's see how they are faring, those who are already there and those who are about to go in. If we can, we should be bringing women here. Let them also educate us, bring out the empathy part from the women, let people know what women can do, and as we sell ourselves, we will have more opportunity to serve the people. Thank you so much for your time with us here this morning. We
Thank
hope
you
will
for
give the incoming local government chairman the support they need to be able to drive development in your local government and even in other local governments. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity given me.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, friend, if you have been with us from the beginning, I hope you have heard from Dr. Mrs. Ekpenyong what we can do to get it right. We have not exhausted. We've not even, in fact, we've not scratched it. We have so much to do to get it right at the grassroots level. And I believe that if every one of us will rise up and do what we ought to do and leave sentiment, maybe because your person is there, and even when the person is not qualified, you say let the person go. I think it should not be so. Let every one of us know that the development of the community will affect every one of us positively, and so all hands must be on deck to be able to drive this development that we are talking about. And women are really out to ensure that they also contribute their quota to ensure this happens. My name is Grace Hussein. Heartbeat continues. Please don't go anywhere because we still have so many things to offer you this morning. Have a great Tuesday.
Everything you go through in life is preparing you for your next assignment.